Hey everybody, we're back here with a update video, first update video. This is going to be basically a baby update video, a little bit of who we are, and then a little explanation on the cages that we have here. But first we're going to start off by my 6-week-old broken reds here. They got weaned earlier this week, so they're just a beautiful day in mid-Missouri, just chilling and hanging out, and everybody's just cozy in the middle of the day. It's beautiful here right now, so that's those guys. And we'll move over to the baby update. If any of y'all remember from when my last video, I said we had one due this week, and that was Aphrodite here. Aphrodite was bred to Twix, which is my Siamese satin buck, and they had babies. This is her second litter. Her first litter was the one where I told you she had 5 and only one survived. She was the one that's bred young, and that's why she's pretty small statured for a New Zealand doe, but you know, they're not pedigreed or anything. But they did have babies, and they are definitely mixed between Siamese satin and New Zealands, because we got I waited till they got a little bit of hair on them here so everybody could see them. They were born Monday, and today is Saturday, so they're not quite a week old or whatever, but let's see if we get a little better color here. There they are. We got 9 healthy little New Zealand Siamese satin cross babies. Look at those little black ears and noses and white bodies. Isn't that pretty? You know they're Siamese satin for sure. Crossed anyway. So we know he's good to go, so that kind of makes Zeus, our New Zealand, white New Zealand buck, kind of obsolete for now, because I really don't need him switching over to the red New Zealands. So he's going to be going soon now that I know Twix is good to go. But 9 babies are second litter, and they're all healthy and doing great and beautiful. And just like a bunch of jumping beans, my wife says, they're just popping all the time. Every time you look in here at these guys, huh? Beautiful. Well, I'll kind of leave it on here for now. I'll give you a little back date on who we are and where I came from, basically. I'm in my mid-30s now, and I grew up in northern Missouri, and we raised rabbits our whole life. My dad was a rabbit judge, did all that stuff as a kid. My whole life, my chores were feeding, watering rabbits. Well, then I grew up, graduated high school, joined the United States Marine Corps, became a firefighter in the Marines, and I ended my active service there. I got a firefighting job in mid-Missouri, so thus the smoke eater handle that you all see. That's a little bit about me, and we've decided to, obviously, to get back into rabbits. We'll kind of cover these fellers back up here. Beautiful little 9 babies, all doing great. She's doing a great mama, aren't you? Aren't you, Afro? Put them back in here with her. Yep. Hold on here. She likes to move her box for me. She's gotten so used to that, she don't mind one bit what we do with it. Alright, and I said we're going to talk about our cages, because I didn't really get to touch on that in my first 2 intro videos. What I've done is I needed cages. So they're 20 inches high. They're 1x2 with the 1x1/2 floors. Okay, and I built them, most of them, to a 3-foot by 2-foot spec, so 36 by 24. Instead of a 30 by 30 or whatever, because I want to be able to reach the back. That's basically where those came from. Now they're all different sizes. This is an individual cage because it fits where I needed to put them, so that's why it's built to fit, like some of these other cages were. They are 2 by 4 legs, 4 of them on each cage, no matter how long they are. They are treated, and I haven't had any problems with the rabbits messing with that. Now under the cage, under the floor, used to be up here, these are 2x2 framework, just butted together, simple construction. They were under the cages, and that puts wood against the bottom of your cage, obviously, especially for reds. Like JRS said in one of his videos, you know, you don't want that ammonia from the urine and feces touching their fur, because it'll bleach it out. Well, so those bottoms were on there. Then I had our gutter type system here, and I took those bottoms off because that gutter system supplies me support. You will notice that the other cages that are outside the annex and under my tree, they still have that support, but instead of right under the cage, I dropped it down 6 inches. That gives me more support for that, since they don't have the tray with the gutter. That's basically a 2x2, same frame as the top, just added with metal over it. That's all that is. A gutter attached to it. The guttering system runs into buckets that are wired bottom, as I explained before. But being on concrete like this, they catch them pretty well. They're angled nicely. It rolls down into the gutter system, and then I get my shower on my garden hose here, and I just shower it. It goes right down into the drain and into the hole. And what looks different here is there's a drip edge here. This is drip edge right here, right, just normal. But this is also drip edge. If you see how I attached it here, I just screwed it down. This is the same drip edge. Instead of going under here and over, I got it upside down. This adds to it. What that does is, as you see, it gives me a little lift, kind of a rebound, you know, bounce, donk. Little sound effects there for you, but it's a little rebound and keeps it in. It keeps it off of my concrete floor. I have very little pellets out on the floor that way. And on the bottom, her first litter, I learned like everybody, her first litter, she had them on the cage, and some of them were half hanging out. So I had to put the baby saver wire, which is basically the floor wire, the 1x1/2, and, excuse me mama, I'm going to kind of show them here, and we added it just right here, just run it right in, that first 2 inches of the bottom. Some people go more, but 2 inches is enough. Those little guys ain't getting open over that, I don't think. They haven't yet. So those are added on to all the cages I had pre-existing. Now, the cages I built since then, which are quite a few, those floors were built where I just basically bent it with a 2x4, you know, and bent my edges and bent it all the way up and made it that way. Let me use less of this, the 1x2, and I just simply wrung it to the bottom and attached it, and they're beautiful cages, just like they're custom made, you know, by me, except. Well, anyway, like I was saying about the floor, so I had to drop that floor, and to secure it, I wanted to make sure, and I added these heavy-duty chain here with these S-hooks right there. Well, that's really dark in here, isn't it? There you go. You kind of see them there. The S-hooks on there. In the back, I just use the S-hooks right to the wood. As you can see right there, they're just right to the wood. In the fronts, the chain is screwed to the wood coming down to the S-hooks. So basically, in effect, not being in a barn or anything, I have hanging cages, all wire hanging cages. Nothing's touching the wood but the sides where the legs are, and that's not really in effect. So any urine or feces all goes down to the bottom, and then we have the resting boards, obviously, to keep their feet, so they got a nice little place to rest. All of them have the same. And I explained in the last videos about the heat and everything and how our fans were, but there's this simple bike hangers that I cut and screwed in here, hung the fans to them. Down here you've got an eyelet, circle eyelet little screw deal. Put those in, add the bungee cord to it, that holds it in place. And being 2 foot wide cages, it's perfect. Adds, the fans are just, they sit in there perfect, everything's nice and tight and no problem there. So, and then the roofing material is just a simple plastic stuff that it's 20 bucks a sheet of the 12-foot stuff over at Lowe's. Not, you know, that's a little bit expensive, not too bad. One of the other problems I was having on the concrete was obviously they could urinate. Some of them they'll urinate out onto my concrete, and I'd have these big splotches out here, and or if you're standing here feeding or something or playing with them, you don't want them peeing on you. So I basically made my homemade urine guards, and all I did was hog rings, used hog rings right there, and I wrung those to the bottom of the cages with this type of some kind of gutter material. I'm not a roof expert or anything, I'm just a firefighter, I just tear it up. So yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's kept with all your gutter material, all your drip edge, and I basically just put it on there, kind of bent it a little bit more maybe, and that keeps all that urine and keeps it all down into the drops. Now on the sides, they can get it out the side, but I'm not standing on the sides hardly ever. And that's how they're all made. Edge protector, that's what this plastic stuff is. It's edge protector to keep you from cutting your arm. Also have it on here on my drip edge. That keeps me from cutting my leg or anything like that. That drip edge there, so you're walking by, boom, you don't cut your leg on it or something like that, because it sticks out. My kids the same way when they're climbing in it. But that's a little baby update. Afro had 9 of them. Aphrodite did. We call her Afro. She had 9 of them. And a little backstory on us and how we made most of our cages. And that's how they're done. And again, my time's running out. Thanks for watching, everybody.